What is going on? Welcome to Ryan and Brian Talk Sports plus NicLarson. As always, we appreciate our sponsors, Pickett Sports and Sleeper Picks. How are you guys doing?
Doing good, man. I'm pretty excited. I don't think I've ever seen a slate I didn't like, but I kind of like this slate, even though there's three 9.5 point favorites. I think I found some value that I'm excited to share.
That's like isn't that where you're going to be in the NBA? Is the bigger spreads are always the closest game? I feel like
It does feel that way sometimes, that's for sure.
Yeah, definitely good NBA games tonight. I feel like could be blowout NFL games, so we'll see.
Yeah,
give or take, give or take.
There's a world where all 5 games, including NFL and all NBA, is a blowout. But we're gonna.
The NFL game being a blowout would be a tough. It would be tough because that would require there to be points to be scored, which is one of the things that's.
Yeah, we shouldn't have to worry about that too much.
I had this weird moment of just clarity of just like hating myself where I actually had a bad Sunday yesterday, which like I've only had 2 down weeks in the NFL, but like yes, it just killed me. And then I saw the stat this morning that said like, oh, over under for this Monday Night Football game, the last 10 unders on primetime have gone under. What's the bet for tonight? And I was like, you're telling me I waste all this time trying to cap things. I lose 3 units yesterday. I could have just bet the unders on every single primetime and bought a yacht. Like, it's so annoying to think about.
Involve the Giants or Jets for once, so maybe you have a chance.
Yeah, but the Broncos are so good. Yeah, like
Actually, I don't hate this game. I think
it'd be fun to watch.
There's some wind. There's 15-mile-an-hour winds, but for a November game in Buffalo, it's like 42 degrees, a little bit of wind. It's not bad.
It was a nice day. Pretty good weather. I actually was off today and Friday for a wedding I was in Maryland, so it was a nice day. So me and my brother went golfing. So you guys get the weird Brian version of me,
right? I'm just trying to find your whereabouts for a certain thing.
Yeah, we played 9 holes today, so you guys get the 3 drink Brian coming in, just making fun of everybody and having a good time. So it's gonna be a fun show, I think.
Yeah, I love that.
Let me make sure I get the ticker right. I didn't have the chat open earlier. So NFL first. I would hate to piss off the producers around this place. So we do have an NFL game. The over-under is 47. And then the spread is 7. So I messed that up. But the spread is 7.5.
No wonder these
over-under. Yeah, I mean, you would hope so. But no, so Broncos are plus 7.5 to the Bills. The Bills are minus 375 on the money line. I don't know if I have no trust in the Bills, if I'm being honest. But I do think there's a lot of good props in this game. So how many plays do you guys each have for this game alone? 2? Nick, do you have 1? Oh, what is the balloons going on?
Let's go.
What did anyone do that? What the hell was that?
What do you got going on over there?
I didn't do that. I have no idea what caused that.
My birthday's 9 months away. We're almost there. Let's celebrate early.
Yeah, it's only 9 months away. Ryan, that's a sign from like some kind of betting god. I don't even know. You get to go first. What is your ultra lock balloon play of this game?
Okay, I figure if we're talking ultra locks, why not go with the biggest boomer bust play in the entire league? Perhaps let's go with Gabe Davis. I really like the value of Gabe Davis props. So I split a unit. I went 50 plus yards on DraftKings. It was plus 165 or so, plus 160. And then on Hard Rock, his touchdown was like plus 240. I like the odds of both, so I went half a unit on each. There's not really a guy that's harder in this league to get a read on than Gabe Davis. He's the ultimate boomer bust, definitely of wide receivers, in my opinion. But I like this matchup. I like the value. He's gone over 50 yards in 4 out of 9 games. He's had a touchdown in 5 of 9. If we hit 1 out of the 2, we profit. If he catches a bomb, we make some nice money. The Broncos defense has admittedly tightened up a little bit since the beginning of the season, but they're 32nd in pass defense DVOA, and they're also 32nd versus wide receiver twos. You could probably credit that to Pat Surtain, who will likely shadow Diggs. And while Diggs is too good to completely stop, I think Surtain can kind of frustrate him a little bit, slow him down is what I'll call it, which ideally should open up things for James Cook receiving, which I eyed. Obviously, Dalton Kincaid was very, very difficult to resist, but
it's 52.5, right? 52.5 yeah. It's a tough thing to back. I love Kincaid, but I know he's going off recently and he has those like 60, 70 yard games, but Yeah, seeing that 52 as an actual line is a little bit tougher to be sold on.
Yeah, it's a little bit too much for me. The 5-5 receiving prop. I mean, I thought about this stuff all day. I decided to pivot over to Gabe. Like, I mean, I mentioned how bad they are against wide receiver two, so that was a big play in this game. They're also allowing a league high 7.6 yards per pass attempt. They're allowing 3.1 20-yard passes a game. Thanks. That's actually a shout out to Griffey, one of our guys in GoldBoys. He's like the only guy I know that tracks these stats. So 3.1 20-plus yard passes a game. And I feel like if we get a couple 20-yard passes, Gabe will be involved in at least one of them. Gabe really struggled against New England on October 22nd. He had one catch on 5 targets for 6 yards. The following week, they peppered him with 12 targets. He had 9 catches, 87 yards. So I'll be intrigued. I mean, he's literally coming off a 0-0-0 game. 0 catches, 2 targets. I think Buffalo will, it's in their best interest to try to get him involved. He's definitely a playmaker. He hasn't really caught a long pass in several weeks. Khalil Shakir is kind of, up on his ass a little bit here. So maybe Gabe is motivated a bit just to kind of show out to secure his wide receiver 2. Although I don't think Shakir, is more than a slot guy. But I don't know. Gabe Davis, 50-plus yards, half unit, and then Gabe Davis touchdown, half unit for me to start the night.
Yeah, I mean, I saw our fellow friend Brad Thomas on Twitter. He put out 60-plus yards at plus 200, I believe.
Oh, then cash out.
Yeah. Okay.
Don't
That's a
play
good
that.
move. I just think I understand his point of view of saying his over/under is 39.5, minus 120 or minus 118. And Gabe Davis is a guy that he's either going to hit you with that 45-yard pass to cash you out on an all over, or he's going to do what he did last week. Which, how many yards did he have last week again, Ryan? Yeah,
0
big
catches,
goose egg.
0 yards, 0
Big goose egg for Gabe Davis. Yeah, I do think there is value in trying to maybe take an alt line over trusting that he gets this weird intermediate game that he just does not have in his bag. So I do like that.
Yep. I think he has 50 yards or more in 4 out of 9. He also has hit his over in 4 out of 9. So that's why I kind of jumped for the value. So, agreeing with what Brian's saying. Yeah, that's why I did that.
Yeah. Nick, I'm going to toss it up to you because I know you have a ladder play in this game, which would be interesting to look at, right? It's a ladder, right? I saw you on Twitter.
Of course it is, of course.
Yeah, of course it is. So what do you got here?
Javonte Williams reception ladder. The base is 2.5, which is plus 126, up to 6, which is plus 880. The Bills allow the 6 most catches to opposing running backs. Recently, Mixon had 5. Rashad White had 7 and Stevenson had 6. So he does have a little competition in the backfield as far as like receptions with P. Ryan and was it McLaughlin or whoever the
Jaleel McLaughlin.
But I think he's hit it 4 out of 6 games. He's hit 3 his last 2. So I really like it since that base you're getting plus 126, so you don't have to divvy up as much on the base rung there. But they even game script wise, if they get down, they might be dumping off early and just get. If he can get the ball in his hands, he's a good playmaker, even out of the backfield. They used him a lot last year with some screens and stuff like that. So I looked at his yards too, but there's just more value as far as odds when it came to receptions. So hopefully get the 3 and then just go from there.
Yeah. Someone in the chat as a Bill fan and just a hunch. I think they run the run game gets going tonight. Yeah, for net being active. I can see that. Someone asked about if we have a feel on either side. I think 7.5 is a dead number, if that makes any sense to people listening. I just don't know if I feel strongly about either of these teams to take the Bills to win by 8 or more or the Broncos to keep within a touchdown. But talking about props, I know you're on Williams in the ladder. There's a soundbite of last summer of me saying, like, let me tell you why Ryan is full of shit. So I'm going to make a new soundbite of, let me tell you why Nick is full of shit here.
Was I full of shit that day? Do you remember?
I have to check. I don't know, but I just have the soundbite. So I just
can't wait for this full ladder to hit. So continue.
Yeah, this full ladder. I took Samaja P. Ryan over 12.5 receiving yards.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. I'm good with that.
Yeah, no, I would not take it.
That's one catch.
One catch. Yeah, I'll say this. Everything that Nick said, I love. I actually liked Devontae Williams a lot tonight through the air. But in my write-up, I gave out this is my biggest player of the week, which is so weird to think about because it's Samaje Perine. But at the same time, I said in the Discord in my write-up, I think people forget that Perine exists. He has never gone over 12.5 for a line. Like his line has never gone over 13.5, which it is right now, which I still like. He has 15 or more receiving yards in every single game this year. I hate to be the guy that says, oh, 100% hit rate, but I swear people forget that he's on this team. People forget he plays almost 40% of the snaps. People
What's the
forget
hit rate on it?
100%.
Okay, there we go.
He's never missed. But I'm just saying, he plays 34% of the snaps when Williams is active. He has seen most of the third down situations and the passing scripts. This could hit in the first half if they get the ball with like 2 or 3 minutes left. Give me like a 2-minute drill. With how bad the Bills' defense has been in terms of limiting running backs and limiting just the middle of the field. I just think, like I said, this could take one catch for a guy that sees 3 or 4 targets a game. I just was surprised to see that it was 12.5 minus 110 when I took it. It's 13.5 now, and I do think, like I said, it's a sneaky prop where sometimes RB2 or RB3s that see these kind of work don't get the lines they deserve. Thursday, I did a show with Josh, and I took Miles Sanders. It was a sweaty hit, but like I said, one catch cashes it. So for a guy that sees so many passing yards or so many passing downs, I'm taking Perine for 12.5. Give me 1 or 2 catches for a guy that sees so much volume in this offense.
Yeah, I like that.
I think he's number 8. He's 7 or 8 in the league in receiving yards for backs. He's like top 5 or 6 or 7. I forget. Definitely top 10. But for a guy that sees that much looks, it's funny to see that he's getting these low lines.
Yeah, I mean he's 4th on the team in receiving.
Yeah,
yards.
He gets a lot of yards.
Yeah. Sutton has 380. Perine has 231, so he's averaging almost 30 a game. So interesting ass line. Very, very odd line.
Yeah.
It's 15-5 now. Wow. No shit.
On FanDuel.
Look at you, Brian, you trendsetter.
Let me look right now on Pickett Sports, our wonderful sponsor, because before the show it was 13.5 on MGM and DK. Because anything,
Brian, you know what's going to happen?
I love. What's going to happen?
McLaughlin's going to have like 10 catches for 140.
If you have access to MGM, Barstool, DraftKings, Caesars Sportsbooks, or any of the Camby books, it is still 13.5. So I think if you can get 13.5, it's on every single book but FanDuel. The only people with 15.5 are PointsBet and FanDuel, which honestly is a good sign to me because I always think FanDuel is a sharper book. So if FanDuel is the one that's going to give you a higher line, take the 13.5, still minus 110. I knew it was going to move before the show, but 1 yard, even though it's a big difference in low volume props, I think you can still get that 13.5 anywhere. And he has that 15 plus in every single game.
My question for you, Brian. So you see this 100% hit rate. You see this 28.9 receiving yards a game. Where's the ladder? Where's some bravery? Where's some courage, man? You're like Lion from the Wizard of Oz, man.
I'll say this
on the table.
I'll say this. I did go over a unit on it, and then I looked at the ladder potential, and like 25 plus was like I think plus 200, and I did a cost benefit analysis there where I was thinking I'd rather go like 1.5 units on the 12.5 rather than risk 1 unit and then the other 0.5 on the plus 200 just to make up a difference of what, half a unit. Like I feel like I'd rather just risk the baseline. If I got better odds,
sometimes I feel that.
Yeah, if I got better odds on the 25 plus, say like closer to 300 plus 280,
50 is plus 1,000.
Okay, well, fuck you, dude.
Has he hit
40 plus 550?
He has a 73-yard game.
Yeah. So that was my thing, Ryan, is that he's only had 25 plus in 3 games this year. I would want better odds on the 25 plus. So I took the base because the base has been just out of the ballpark. So he has not really had many of those 25 plus. He hovers around that 20 a game. So that
Sounds
answers
good.
your question.
Yeah, good deal.
Samaje Perine, people.
I think it's my turn.
Yeah.
All right, so Nick has a pass catcher from Denver. Brian has a pass catcher from Denver. I have a different pass catcher from Denver. So how about that? However, these are all like low volume ones, so it's not like they can't all hit. But I found a number I really liked. Courtland Sutton over 3.5 receptions. thought this line was really interesting. It started to kind of juice out on the bigger books, the FanDuels and the DraftKings, but you can still get -1. Oh, this actually moved on me a little bit since the show started. It's -130 on MGM. That's about my limit for NFL props. I don't usually go beyond 130 too often. It's also -130 on Barstool. It's -140 on DraftKings. It's -136 on FanDuel. So somewhere around that range, it seems like on every book. This one was -115 not that long ago. So kind of sucks it moved, but I still like it a lot, like a lot. I thought about laddering here myself, even though I just criticized Brian. I didn't go that route. I just stuck to the
okay.
the
So you
receptions.
don't toss the stone if you can't. Was it you
Oh,
can't just you
I
can't
got plenty of
toss
ladders.
the first stone and then not do it. So I don't want to hear it.
I got plenty of ladders. The reason I didn't ladder is because 2 weeks ago when they beat the Chiefs, it was such a ground and pound game. I think they would be silly to not at least kind of go that route to start. However, I don't see this being like last game they ran 62% of the time. I feel like there's no way they could pull that off again with this game. But I still do think that they're aggressive on the ground. So I didn't see much ladder potential. However, this is a pretty high confidence prop. It's a bit of a buy low after a 2-catch performance, but like I said, they ran the ball with Javonte 27 times. They ran the ball as a team 40 times. I just don't think they're going to be able to do that kind of thing against the Bills tonight. The Broncos enter, as a touchdown underdog, if not like 7.5. So I think they'll have to pass a little bit more. It's also versus the Bills secondary that's been crushed with injuries and getting thrown all over. They're allowing 27 completions a game over the last 3 games, 278 yards. So they obviously can be thrown on pretty easily. So this is wide receiver 1 for them. He's not a great wide receiver 1. He's got 380 yards, but it's wide receiver 1 nonetheless. And they have Sean Payton, who I can't hardly stand the guy, but he's a pretty creative play caller. He also is coming off of bye week, so I think they can have some special plays drawn up for some of their guys that they want to get the ball to. Another thing is Bills run man coverage at the 11th highest rate in the league, which is above average. Jerry Jeudy's been pretty much a non-factor versus man coverage, so I think that also favors Sutton a bit. Sutton's been really good versus both man and zone. And then the final stat for you is Bills are 28th in DVOA versus wide receiver 1s. So it just seems like a nice spot for wide receiver 1 to get 4 catches. I don't feel like it's asking that much for even at -130. I would take this one, actually. I like this one a lot.
So Ryan, where did you get your DVOA stats from?
PFF. I bought the subscription.
Yeah, no, because I used to subscribe solely to Football Outsiders, and then they kind of just disbanded and then never came back. So I find that a lot of these secondary sites have been less helpful. So is it worth the full subscription to scrape data from?
But they actually have a lot of. I bought it before I scoured the website like entirely, and I found that I use more of their free stuff than their paid stuff. So I would say no, but I still think there's a lot of value in that PFF website. I think it's definitely one of my go-tos for NFL research.
That is good to know. Do you guys have anything else to add on this football game, this Monday Night Football game, before we go to NBA?
Not really. A little bit earlier, XVR mentioned that they think that the Bills will be aggressive on the ground. I really could see that when I first woke up today. The initial prop that popped into my head was James Cook rushing. I somehow just couldn't find myself to commit such a high number, and he seems to be trending down rather than up. But I think he has a lot of potential tonight. I think he can have like a big game. I somehow didn't convince myself to bet on it, but I guess I just throw a lean out there that I wasn't able to commit. But I think he can have a big game tonight, James Cook.
I like that. So I guess the biggest question is, what was the order last week when we did the first touchdown scores? Do you guys anyone remember what it was? We didn't.
Sorry. Yeah, we didn't do one last week. You didn't get around to it.
Really?
Did we? I thought last week was when we first started.
No,
really?
we started 2 weeks ago. You didn't do last week's.
Oh, you know what? Last week was the first NBA show, right?
Yeah,
wasn't it?
I believe so.
Technically,
I think so.
Because what was my football game last week? Oh, Jets Chargers. Yeah, we didn't do that one.
That's all right. I probably didn't miss too much.
Yeah, I don't think there was much to really go off of. Yeah, that's right. Because I took yeah. Okay, so we missed the game.
It's funny.
I think who went first though? The first time we did it.
I had the right one that game.
No, we all got it wrong.
I went first.
Okay, I know. I'm just saying we all got it wrong. So I'll give Ryan first. I'll give Nick last, and then me in the middle. Then
I want to say, actually, we're acting like we're scrambling and all this stuff. We had a meeting before the show where we strategically didn't pick a first touchdown score because we knew it was going to be a punt returner. Remember?
Oh yeah, we did say that. Yeah, okay. He's lying.
Demario Davis.
If you're new to the show, we are going to track the units won, lost, almost as a social experiment to see how unprofitable it is to bet like full units on first touchdown score, but also just for fun. So we are all 0-1 with -1 unit. I am going to read the first touchdown. Feel free in the comments or in the stream chat to give you what you think it is, but I'm going to use the Pickett Sports apps to shop the best line so everyone gets the best line possible. Nice. Stephon Diggs is +600, Josh Allen +700, James Cook +800, Dalton Kincaid is +1,000, Javonte Williams is 12-1 +1,200, Gabriel Davis is +1,300, Cortland Sutton is +1,500, Latavius Murray is +1,800. For some reason, Jaleel McLaughlin is +2,000. Like he's a pretty shorter shot than he should be probably. Jerry Jeudy is 20-1 +2,000 as well. Shakir is +2,000. Marvin Mims 33-1. Adam Troutman 35-1. Should I keep going, or is that enough? Russell Wilson 35-1. Any?
So, I'm gonna stick with my guy. I'm gonna go to Gabe Davis for this one. I have him scoring a touchdown. I'm also gonna say he's gonna catch a 53-yard touchdown in the first quarter.
So you're going Davis?
Gabe Davis. I think
so I'm next. This is tough because if we're trying to win in this thing on the noon show, I was talking about Samaje Perine, who hasn't scored this year. He is 50-1 right now. And I'm gonna bet it either way. He has not scored yet this season, but in the sake of the contest, I want someone that's gonna be more, I don't know, maybe a little bit closer to what we need to do and actually win.
So he's due, is what you're saying. He has.
Give me Samaje Perine 50-1.
11-yard touchdown catch. That's his only catch of the game.
I'm going to go with Perine right here, right now. I think you guys laugh it up. Jaleel McLaughlin has lower odds. Give me a catch from Samaje Perine, and think about this: if we do this for every single game the rest of the way, a 50-1 win. How are you going to catch up to that? It's going to be so difficult to catch up with that. So just keep that in mind as you pick your next stupid little whatever. Nick, who you going with?
Give me Shakira plus 2,000.
Wow, this is going to be the chalkiest game ever. It's going to be Allen or Diggs.
Yeah,
it's going to be Allen or Diggs, and we're all going to look at our Shakir.
Anybody can pick that, though.
Yeah. Exactly.
I know, like, Eckler hits at that plus 360 rate or something like that, but I just have a really hard time motivating myself to pick anything under 10-1. Just kind of like a stubborn thing, but it would probably cost me more than it would help me. But I'm gonna stick to my guns and just go 10-1 or higher as my standard. I gotta throw this out there. I don't think a couple weeks ago when we started that we got Tone, our producer.
Oh, Tone, you know what?
We're all over, so I say we get Tone in.
Better yet, we just take that first. Since we missed a week, we take that first week, we throw it away. No one's lost, and now Tone's the part of this. So Tone, this is the first week we're doing this. Tone, what is your pick?
I don't even remember doing it before. So.
I don't think we've ever done it before.
I don't know if you saw in chat. I was actually gonna hope you didn't say Perine. I was gonna take Perine just because you didn't even list his odds.
Yeah, well, guess what? The chalky pick is already over. It's already taken.
That's right.
I mean, I don't know. Ryan, who did you say?
I get to hook Gabe Davis.
Give me a stupid run-in by Josh Allen. We'll do that. I'll go.
I like that. That's a good pick.
Yeah,
that's a good pick.
Definitely don't mind that at all. He's been scoring like a madman recently. I think he's got 5 touchdowns in 6 games or something like that.
So Ginger Snap, our best friend in the chat, always Ginger Snap said the first one was a mulligan. You do get a mulligan per 9. So that's
breakfast ball, man. It's our first one.
It's a first one. It doesn't count. honestly, Ryan makes a good point. Tone has to be a part of this, and he just basically took all of our plus a millions and said, "Give me the guy that's actually going to score at some point in the game."
Well, to be fair, I
Never a
was going
bad
to take
idea.
the plus a million before Brian said it.
I can't wait to go to the group chat later when Samaja runs in like a 40-yard touchdown first snap of the game.
I'm already
Everyone's gonna be.
I'm already studying what long shot to do next week for Chiefs Eagles.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, that's good. Holy shit.
Yeah, give me Boston
Hey,
Scott.
Primetime next week is pretty good.
Yeah, well, on paper. So
You're right. You're
Until
right.
the
we will
under
move
hits.
to we'll move we'll move in to the NBA slate. How many picks do you guys have? I know we all have the same bet, which never has happened in the entire
I
history
don't
of
have
ever.
the same one as you guys.
I know, but it's similar, right?
We're all on the same player. I have not the opposite of you, but a uncorrelated opposite of you.
So
That
just
makes
just
sense.
for
We'll explain that.
points. All right, how many plays do you have? That was a question.
1, 2, 3. Yeah, it ended up being 3. I had a 4th, but the odds got nuked.
Yeah, so
I'm gonna
3, and I have I have a whopping 1 because I got super pissed off with the world, and then like I took my like Batman cave, didn't leave the house for a while. So I'll let Ryan go first.
Sounds good. Here, let's just get the pain, the stupid pick that I did out of the way. This is a garbage pick, but I'm still taking it. I think you should too. So I don't know if that motivates you. I'm going fucking Zach LaVine tonight, dude. I said in the GoldBoys chat that you could stick your toothpicks under your toenails and kick walls, or you can bet Zach LaVine with me. Both are equally harmful. But I'm fucking doing it, man. Guards.
I'm gonna chime in real quick and just say, even if you win, I expect you to text me or like to at some point just be that wasn't worth it. Like even if you win, sometimes it still hurts.
Yeah. And not only did I take this man for 23.5 points, I took him for 30 as well. So just to make it even dumber, I can't wait.
He scores 16 on like a miracle 14-point fourth quarter. You're gonna be so bad.
I've been mentally preparing myself for the pain all day. It is what it is. So it's it's a pace up spot. The Bucks are top 10 in pace. The Chicago typically plays slow, but this will kind of force their hand to get some extra possessions in this game. LaVine leads this team in usage. It's 27.6% usage rate. It's pretty good. That's pretty high. He's shooting volume is basically the same as it always has been. I'm sorry. It's about the same as last year when he averaged almost 25 points a game. This year, he's shooting 4% lower than his career average. He's also shooting from the field, and 6% lower from 3 for his career average. So I think this could be a spot that he improves on that. High usage guards have just dismantled this Buck squad. I mean, Jalen Suggs just went for 20. So if LaVine can't get 24, I don't know what to say anymore. There's some point guards sprinkled in on this, but it's point guards, shooting guards, these guys that have the ball in their hands a lot, but Tyrese Halliburton had 29 in the same game. Mathurin had 26. Cade Cunningham had 26 in that same game. Marcus Sasser had 26 off the bench. We saw the Cam Thomas 45. We saw the Jalen Brunson 45. This has been something that I've targeted a lot. And unfortunately today it falls on the shoulders of Zach LaVine, who I really do not enjoy betting on at all. But I'm going to keep targeting the Bucks with the highest usage rate guard. And he fits the bill here. And hopefully he has some value for us. So I think it's minus 104, 105 on most books for 23.5. And I think FanDuel had the best odds for 30 plus. So I see a lot of people on DeMar, and I definitely get it. But I personally went LaVine myself.
Yeah, I like that. I think you preface that well by saying you got to just kind of look past how anecdotal it is sometimes by trying to back a guy like Zach LaVine, who sometimes takes like 3 shots and you don't understand why. But I know Nick is the local Bucks expert here. That team made this trade. I thought it was a little iffy. I know it's whatever it is, but they are still trying to run the same drop coverage, and they don't have Drew Holiday to save them. Not say save them, but if you run a lot of drop coverage, that hammer spot, that top of the key player, has to be good enough defensively to save your ass when needed to in certain mismatches. And Damian Lillard is just not that on the defensive end. So this Bucks team has just looked really bad at times. So I do think it's a driving guard like LaVine that could also rein it in from 3 is a good look in this one.
Yeah, just had to happen, man. Just had to happen.
He's dropping 40 tonight. I hate to say it, but It's
Love it.
coming.
What are your before we move on, like 30 seconds or less? What are your current thoughts on your team with the Milwaukee Bucks?
On the Bucks? I'm not too worried yet. I mean, Giannis and Lillard have not played that many games together. He sat the last couple. Giannis got ejected the one. I mean, they still have Lopez and Giannis on defense. This coach has got to figure out exactly what they're going to do as far as the defensive end. Lillard and Giannis will figure it out in the pick and roll, and they're going to be fine. They'll be fine. Once Middleton's playing full-time minutes, Middleton's decent defender, not great, but he'll help them a little bit as well. And then once they get to the trade deadline, they'll probably add some sort of guard. Like if they could I don't know if they could, but if they could somehow get like Caruso or something like that.
Yeah. Well, he's going to be a Sixer, so that's going to work out. But
you hit me with a car.
Yeah, okay. You know what, dude? A man got hit by a car. It's not funny. What? Nick Batum's out tomorrow. That sucks. Someone in the chat says
Marcus Morris time.
they're actually adding Nick on this one. Do you think Giannis carries the Bucks tonight? Do you think 28.5 points? What are your thoughts on that?
Have they said if Lillard's playing, right?
He's listed. I haven't seen anything that is
Probable.
out. Yeah, I think he's playing.
I mean,
I'll
I
double
don't
check
know.
on that while you.
Giannis is like, if Giannis wants to score, like we saw it the other night, if he wants to score, he's going to score. If Lillard's out, he's going to score 35.
They were down like 48, and Giannis was still putting the bucket in.
Yeah. I mean, I guess
probably.
Yeah, I think Lil, he is playing. Like he's gonna play. So
Seems as if.
it seems like when Lillard's been playing, Giannis has kind of deferred to him.
Which is really weird because Lillard has not scored well with Giannis on the court. I actually had Lillard's under the day he got ejected, Giannis, and he had like 11 points in the third quarter. And I was like, okay, I'm feeling good, and then he got ejected, and then he turned into freaking like Super Saiyan. Like he put up like 19 points in the fourth quarter. So they really have to figure out how to coexist because so far, like you said, when they play together, it's one or the other. And it's almost tough to figure out which is which because
probably tough for both of them. Neither of them has played with somebody like of that caliber.
Yeah.
They've
never been 1A, 1B stars before.
Right. You've had Holiday. Holiday, but Holiday's not the same type of player at all.
Not at all.
Like if you take your bias out of the equation, then Nick, like what is the biggest difference between Giannis Antetokounmpo and like Nurkic? Like what's the biggest is there really much different in their game or is it
One's good.
I'm just saying you said Lillard has never played with one at that caliber, so I just was wondering what you meant by that. Nick, let's go with your first play of this game. Of this slate, I should say.
Actually, Nurkic, no. My first play is the new installment of Applebee's 2 for 20. 2 players to score 20 points.
Okay. I like that.
You like that?
Yeah, that's good.
Julius Randle and a guy who we're probably going to be hearing a lot of on the Toronto Raptors, Scotty Barnes. So both of them to score 20 points. Let me see. Plus 273. Really like Barnes. I mean, Barnes' line's probably moved since I placed that. It was minus 115. It's probably changed since that. But really like Barnes tonight. And then like Randall against the Celtics. He'll probably be jacking threes early and often there. So
the good news if you back a guy like Randall is that he gets it off 1 for 11 and you're still in it. Like he won't stop trucking.
That might be the first 5 minutes.
Yeah.
He's never met a first quarter shot he hasn't liked, so
that's a fact.
Yeah. No, I agree. I like that. I think I applaud you for taking that solely because Julius Randle, kind of like Zach LaVine, is a tough guy to put real money down on and say, hey, not only am I going to bet this for myself, I'm going to post it for my thousands of followers to see. And that becomes even harder. Like if you bet something by yourself, it's like, all right, it wins or loses. Whatever, I can lose $100. No one has to know about it. But when you post it, and everyone's like, "Are you fucking kidding me? Like this guy? Like that's what you're gonna go with?"
I had to give him a chance because he made me so much money on rebounds last year. It was insane. So I had to give him. This is his debut for me this year. First time taking him.
Yeah. Someone in the chat was also just saying that I saw that Brian sprinkled. You know me. I'm always a long shot kind of guy on this show.
Yeah,
You guys
that's
come
right.
in with your boring ass unders and plays. I did take Scotty Barnes to get a triple double today. I'm just gonna go right into it because someone asked about it. It was what 25-1 on DraftKings, which plays into my one
I think
straight
it's
for
like
this
minus
show.
250 now.
Really? Is it? I moved that
We're going
line that
hammered
much.
it,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, everyone probably bet it because I have such a big influence, you piece of shit. It falls into Scotty Barnes. He does have a triple double this year. He already has one. I believe it was at the Bulls. I'm pretty sure second game of the season. And can you think of a better matchup for rebound / assist for a high usage guy, which he has been? You lose Van Fleet. He's been like, I know Schroeder, but he's been handling the ball a lot. I mean, his
Sure has.
potential assists are a little over 10. I think it's about 10 even. He's been boarding a lot. I mean, they have Pascal Siakam, who has kind of been playing with a blindfold most of these games. Jakob Poeltl has been seeing less minutes here and there. He hasn't really been great. Scotty Barnes, like, this is his big leap up there in the game. He's averaging 15.6 rebounds / assists a game. So I did put a unit on his over 13.5 minus 125. OG Anunoby, he is questionable, and I don't want to. Is he out? Did it change to out?
I think so. I'll have to double
'Cause-
check. I thought I saw he was out.
I still have questionable here.
Questionable.
Yeah.
Please
I'll
don't.
say this because I don't want to be the guy that tries to read certain things. He went from not on the report at all to questionable, like randomly at like 11 a.m. today. Usually, if I see a guy in the NBA and try to read these reports in between the lines, if you randomly go from nothing to questionable, I will usually bank like 80% of the time you're not playing. So if he doesn't play, it's more usage for Barnes. The Washington Wizards, if you watch more than 3 minutes of them, they are not good. They are just like they play almost like.
They're gonna say you have a problem if you watch more than 3 minutes.
No. Like I'm just saying, like they're almost like Ryan. You have kids. They're not old enough yet, but I used to watch my younger brothers play basketball in their rec leagues. Everyone just plays at like 1,000 miles an hour. No one plays defense. Everyone swarms the ball. No one knows what's going on. This defense, they allow the most rebounds per game, the most assists per game. They get killed on the offensive glass. They get killed on the defensive glass. They can't stop anyone cutting to the rim. So if there's ever a chance for Scotty Barnes to first off get the actual play of 14 rebounds plus assist, or the crazy long shot triple double, it's probably this game. He had a down game last time against the Celtics that actually play defense. They slowed down the pace. This is just a game where he should be a kid in the candy store if he wanted to go out and do whatever he wanted. So I do think it's a good spot for him to get back and bounce back and maybe a triple double. I mean, it's on the table. I mean, we talk about using Pickett Sports all the time. When I check the odds, 25-1 compared to like Caesars had it like 13-1. I think there's actually value in this prop, and I'll sprinkle it with a free bet.
Hey, this is why they wouldn't trade
I'll take it
Scotty
with you.
Barnes for KD. So
Yeah. No, I mean
this is his moment.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm just saying it's crazy to think about, but yeah, he actually has not KD level, but he's been good this year. So I'm just gonna ride it. Last point I'll say is against the Boston Celtics last game, he only had 4 assists. He still had 13 potential assists. So his shot hasn't been falling as much the last 2 games, but his playmaking is still there. So I do think if you have 13 potential assists, only 4 converted against a team that plays defense, you give me 13 against this defense, you have a good shot of getting 10 or more.
That's fair. Very fair. I have a Scotty Barnes prop. Nick already kind of touched on it a little bit. It's like I said, it's uncorrelatedly different for our opposite of Brian in a sense, but I mean, we've seen him get a triple double before, and he had a pretty good amount of points in that game too. However, I went with the Scotty Barnes points ladder, so I took him at 19.5. I'm pretty sure it's 25 on most books now. Yeah, I took him for 25 plus. I took him for 30 plus. So, similar to.
So you're telling me we need a 25-10-10 game from Scotty Barnes?
Oh,
No
just
problem.
wait. I'm going to raise the bar even higher next. So
Oh
just-
my God, what did you do?
This is great. I love this. So we're all over Scotty Barnes somehow. So we'll see.
He's gonna get
We'll see how
ejected
this
in the
turns
first
out.
30. Actually, I hope he gets ejected early. Like, just
Everybody
end the
take the
paint.
max unders right now.
Like end the paint early. Like get ejected because he didn't do something right with the anthem or something. Like just end it early.
Yeah. So I like Scotty. Similar to Levine. I overthink a lot of props. I feel like I have a really good read on a lot of props, and then sometimes I like to keep it simple. In the early season, I've targeted the shit out of the Bucks with high usage guards. Similar to Washington, I just target them against the guy that has the most usage. So, and that's Scotty Barnes. He's highest usage player on this team. Washington's allowing the second most points in the league, the second highest field goal percentage in the league, fourth most points in the paint. They play at the fastest pace, and more specifically to Scotty Barnes, they allow the most points to small forwards. So I feel like we get a fairly advantageous line here. He is averaging 20.2 points, but he's coming off a 14-point game that Brian referenced and a 10-point game. Both games he shot 4 or 15. So really bad. He shot pretty poorly, but if you followed me long enough, especially NBA and NFL, I love buying low on guys that I know I'm going to take a lot of shots because I think that's the best time to kind of scoop up and get their value. OG Anunoby just got rolled out as we say that. Gary
That's
Trent
big.
just got ruled out as we say that.
Huge.
Wow. Oh, come on, Scott. Like this is
awesome.
I don't want to interrupt you, Ryan. I'm sorry, but this is
No,
one of
that's
those
fine.
games where
Exciting.
you could not ask for a better points, rebound, or assist matchup for Scotty Barnes. You can't ask for more usage against a shitty matchup. It's now or never for this show, and
For this show.
like
Mr. E-Man,
Show is
like
riding
we,
on
we,
Scotty
we're
Barnes.
getting our producers are on our ass, our audience is on our ass. We have 6 viewers currently right now. Like if there's ever a chance for us to rally back, it's right now.
and
Oh,
it's all
Ginger
on
Snap
Scotty
said
Barnes' shoulders.
Ginger Snaps at 25-10-10 off FanDuel for Barnes is 44-1. Screw it, I'm taking that too. Like
Jeez, all right.
we need this. Our show and our livelihoods are all on Scotty Barnes tonight. This is gonna be a rough time.
Yeah. Two more points prior to the last 2 stinkers that he had. He had 20 plus points in 6 straight games, including one 30-point game. So, we know the scoring there is there. If he's getting 15 shots or more, especially now with OG and Gary Trent out, I could see him taking even more. We've harped on Washington this whole time. I feel like we don't need to say too much more, but they're really bad. I like taking guys that are going to take a lot of shots versus Washington. Simple as that.
Tony Sam in the chat said that if we get that and Pierre Ryan first TD, we're so bad. We are so bad. If we get the 44-1. Funnily enough,
You might as well parlay him, can you?
funnily enough, Ginger Snap
There you go.
did say that 25-10-10 is 44-1. So the books are basically saying Scotty Barnes has a better chance of going 25-10-10 than Samaja Piran has of scoring a touchdown first tonight.
Well,
In our
need more
YouTube
than
chat,
10.
a couple
We
people
need
are
more than
saying that.
10.
Sorry, Nick, my bad.
No,
Didn't
go
mean to
ahead.
cut you
Go
off.
ahead.
A couple people are saying that Toronto is locked and stuff like that. OG and Gary Trent just got ruled out 2 seconds ago, so
Yeah, they're gonna lock that
bear
shit
with
up.
it. It'll be back in a few minutes. But yeah, we can keep rolling.
Someone in the Twitch chat asked if they missed anything outside the Scotty look. You missed a lot. You missed our entire livelihood being on one solo person. You also missed the fact that we like Samaja Piran over in receiving yards. Nick likes Javonte Williams over in receptions, which is different than yards. So we have 2 different looks there. And then Ryan, I didn't really listen to. I think he likes something about Cortland Sutton. I think he likes him over 3.5 catches. And then something else about Gabe Davis over 50 plus receiving yards and to score a touchdown. That is just for me to show you guys that I have good comprehension of the show. I actually listen, so
I'm
we can
going to
go
pile
back.
on more Scotty Barnes here for you.
Oh yeah, Nick still has more
yes,
Scotty Barnes.
Yes, we have more Scotty
Yes,
Barnes.
let's go.
I'm going to dual ladder his rebounds with Jason Tatum tonight.
Oh, that's fine. No, that's fine. Give me like 14 just to
that's all I
avoid.
need. I just need 14 from him.
Oh, okay.
So
is that it?
I'm starting both at 8 and 8 is plus 130. 14-14 is plus 4,800. Both of them, Barnes averages close to 10. Tatum averages around 9. Both have really prime matchups as far as rebounds tonight. Tatum's last game against the Knicks, he had 11. And we already know Barnes is going to have a 30, 14, and 10 game, so I'm just factoring that in.
we asked for 25, 10, 10. Now it's 30, like 16, 18. Like it's I can't wait to text in the group chat when Barnes has like 2-1-0 in the first quarter, and we're like, what the fuck?
He's a second half guy though, so we're good.
He's a big second quarter guy until he's not, and then he's a second half guy. Oof. So is that all you had? Is that?
I mean, I got one more play that involves.
Well, like, is it more Barnes, like? Okay, yeah. Ryan, how many more do you have?
One more.
One. I'm gonna kick it to Ryan. I'm gonna give it to Ryan for the last, and then you get to finish us off, Nick.
Yeah, sounds good. I would have a kind of like an interesting look here. I took Josh Hart's rebounds plus assists over 7.5. I went 0.75 units on that, and then I sprinkled 0.25 units on him to have 8+ rebounds. I do like the rebounds a little bit more than assists, but I also just love the value of his RA. He began the season really slow. He had a really busy summer, so it seemed like Tibbs was conscious of that. Played him 22, 22, and 21 minutes in the first 3 games. But then, he removed the training wheels after that. Since then, Howard has averaged 29 minutes per game. The last 2 games, he played 24 and 27 minutes, but both games are massive blowouts. The prior 2 games were very close games. He played 32 and 36 minutes. I think he's very key in this matchup to try to help slow Jaylen Brown / Jason Tatum, whichever they choose to put him on. So I think he has a big role in this game. I think he plays large minutes. After he was dealt to the Knicks last year, he played the Celtics 2 times. In the first one, it was a blowout, but he played 27 minutes. He had 10 RA, including 5 rebounds. A week later, they played again. That game went to overtime. He had 40 minutes. He had 10 RA, including 8 rebounds in that game. So I really like his rebounding. Where I find the most intrigue is how badly Kristaps Porzingis annihilated Mitchell Robinson in the first game of the season. And I can't wait to see what Tibbs has kind of drawn up to try to prevent that from happening again. And I think Josh Hart will kind of, in a weird way, take some part in that, where whoever has to guard Porz, out on the perimeter should allow opportunities for Josh Hart to sneak in and steal these rebounds. He's always been a great rebounder. He's averaging 6 rebounds right now as it is. So I thought there was a lot of value in his rebounds, considering Mitch Robinson either is not really going to be able to play because he can't hang with Porzingis, or when he does play, he's going to be stuck on the perimeter trying to guard him in no man's land. So I think Josh Hart can sneak in and really kind of sneakily dominate the glass in this game. So like I said, I took his RA straight up 7.5, and then I also sprinkled on 8+ rebounds.
What's his triple-double?
Well, parlayed with Scotty Barnes
triple-double.
It's pretty high odds.
People in the chat are saying that we need Scotty Barnes tonight to beat Wilt Chamberlain. So I wanted to show this. I couldn't put it in the chat. We need that stat line. Remember that? we need Scotty Barnes to have the 53, 32, 14 game.
I can't wait, dude.
I'm not asking that much.
It really
honestly, after the show, I'm gonna Photoshop that for some kind of use of Scotty Barnes with that exact stat line. That'd be magical. Nick, you wrap us up with your last play of the slate.
Okay. Last play is the Wendy's 4 for 4, and once again involving Scotty Barnes, 4 assists. Daniel Gafford,
dude. How many
more Barnes, dude? What can go
Barnes?
wrong?
This
is
Drew
Holiday 4 rebounds and Damian Lillard 4 assists.
I just want to say this: in the history of the show, which we've been doing for almost 18 months, Ryan, have we ever agreed so heavily on one person? This is a problem.
It might not be. It's usually like when me and you agree. We've never all 3 ever been on the same person.
That is true. I mean, Nick's only been on 2 shows, though, right? Have you been on more than 2?
This is my 3rd.
Yeah, no, the 4 for 4. So you have a lot of Wendy's going your way. So you have Wendy's and Applebee's. I have a question to you. If one hits and the other doesn't, do you favor the other one next time you go around?
Applebee's is kind of like they're on like a trial basis right now.
That's fair. So can I do a 2 for? What is it? It's what 2 for 20, right? Is what it's. Yeah. Can I do that?
Chili's have something like that? You can do a Chili's play.
I mean, who goes to Chili's? I mean, Applebee's is more convenient. It's cheaper.
Yeah. I only go to Wendy's, so I wouldn't know.
Yeah, that's fair. You can tell. I was gonna say can I do an Applebee's 2 for 20 on Scotty Barnes R and A? 20 rebounds, 20 assists. Russell Westbrook style.
I have
Hey.
no issue with that.
I'll take it.
Almost feels like a lock. So Nick
Yeah.
has Scotty Barnes points paired with who's the other person?
I have his
George
rebounds with Tatum.
Yeah. Who was the 2 for 20 though? It was Barnes and
Barnes
Tatum
and Randall.
And Randall,
that's
yeah.
right, and Randall, and then you have Barnes rebounds paired with Tatum, and then you have Barnes assist in the 4 for 4.
Yeah.
Dude,
I
you
have
better
his
hope
points
he gets off
ladder.
to a hot
Brian
start.
has his RA. Dude, this is amazing.
And triple-double.
And
triple-double.
And if there's ever a guy on this
Ryan first touchdown.
It's so funny because my 2 plays for this
my.
show was the classic, oh yeah, Brian took a random third string running back. And they're like, what else you have? Oh, this triple-double, that's 25 to 1. To wrap it up, I'm sorry to pick at sports. Tone whispered in my ear. I already decided we're gonna skip this. People have things to do. This show has to have a hard cutoff at 6. We are gonna skip the pick at popular plays. It is, I already looked at beforehand. It is Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, and
Scotty Barnes.
It's Scotty Barnes.
The
I know who
Ryan.
I know who the third person is, but now I have to check if it changed. Oh no, it's still Kincaid. Damn it. I knew it was Kincaid, but I thought maybe Barnes would get up there. Barnes is number 5.
Is he really?
So you're saying there's a chance.
8,245 picks on the Pickett app on Scotty Barnes, which is behind Russell Wilson. So take
he the
that
highest
as you
That's
will.
humbling. It's
Is he the
very
highest
humbling.
basketball though?
Yeah, he's highest basketball. Behind Kristaps Porzingis, Tingus Pingus. The 3 highest basketball players are Scotty Barnes, Tingus Pingus, and Julius Randle.
Wow. Amazing.
Yeah, so we're gonna skip this segment, and we're just gonna go through a recap. And I'm gonna go first because I have the least amount of plays. I took Scotty Barnes over 13.5 rebounds / assist, triple double for a sprinkle at 25 to 1. And then I took Samaje Perine over 12.5 receiving yards. It did move a yard, so 13.5 on all books except for FanDuel is more than fine. He might have 16.
16.
Go ahead, Nick. You can go ahead and recap your plays.
So for the Monday night game, I have Javonte Williams reception ladder 2.5 on FanDuel plus 126, up to 6 receptions plus 880. Then I have the Applebee's 2 for 20, Randall and Barnes 20 points each plus 273 on FanDuel. I took Barnes and Tatum dual rebound ladder starting with 8 and 8.
Wait, which Barnes, Scotty or Harrison?
Both. I would take both if they're both worth it, but I'm taking Scotty Barnes.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
Tatum. Thanks for the clarification. Which one did you take for triple double? Just so I remember.
I actually took Harrison Barnes, and I'm realizing that people might misconstrue my whole point.
So Scotty Barnes, Jason Tatum, 8 and 8 rebounds plus 130 up to 14-14 plus 4,800. And then my final play is the Wendy's 4 for 4, Barnes 4 assists, Gafford 4 rebounds, Holiday 4 rebounds, Lillard 4 assists.
Nice. And I'll go ahead and wrap us up.
Before you wrap us up, and because I know you always sign us out. It is funny that someone was it Ginger Snap was saying it may be a blowout in the Wizards game. I made the joke earlier that isn't it kind of sucky that everyone that watches this show / us, the Knicks and the Celtics play at 7:40, like a storybook matchup. And I'm gonna be watching the fucking Raptors Wizards game.
Better believe it.
It's gonna be the most watched game of the season.
Like, can you imagine being the Knicks trying to fight for viewership by the Washington Wizards and Toronto Raptors? That's what's gonna happen tonight. All this Scotty Barnes love, no one's gonna be watching the Knicks.
That's amazing. All right, so I had a Scotty Barnes ladder. Surprise, surprise. I took his points. I took over 19.5. I would take 20.5 with no issue, which I believe it's moved to on a lot of books. I took him for 25 and I took him for 30 plus. I also took Zach LaVine. We'll call it a mini ladder. I took him for over 23.5 points as well as for 30 points. My other NBA look was Josh Hart over 7.5 rebounds plus assist. And then I sprinkled on him to get 8 plus rebounds on DraftKings. Moving over to NFL, I took Cortland Sutton over 3.5 receptions. And then my final 2 plays kind of tied into one. I split a unit. I went Gabe Davis 50+ yards for a half unit, and then took Gabe Davis touchdown for a half unit. So I believe that'll wrap us up. This is the most Scotty Barnes relevant show in perhaps sports betting history. So I truly cannot wait to watch Scotty Barnes tonight. I'm ecstatic. We're ecstatic. We appreciate you guys tuning in. Thanks to Pickett Sports as well as Sleeper Picks for sponsoring our show, and we will see you next week.
See ya.